Okay, deer season's over, but I wanted to take the time to do some scouting and show you what I try to set up on as far as white-tailed deer and the techniques that I use to get close to white-tailed deer, and also the construction of my primitive blinds, the brush blinds that I use. This is what makes me successful hunting white-tailed deer. To start with, you need to find an area that presents a funnel or a food source that's going to get the deer very close to you. Usually that works best if you can find the bedding area. In this area right here, I've got a blind built here. I took 2 whitetails out of this blind this year. One at 3.5 yards and one at 9 yards, 8 yards, somewhere in that range. What made this work, there's a bedding area back to the left, real thick brush the deer bed in, and also another one back to the right, a huge one back to the right that the deer lay in year round, you know. And I've got a acorn strip, a strip of oak trees that connects these 2 bedding areas. When these acorns are dropping, the deer's in here. They bed so close, when they get up to feed, they're right on top of you. But you got a problem. You got to be able to get here quietly and without leaving scent. The big open field behind me allows me to come in without laying scent. As long as I have the wind in my face, blowing my scent back out in the open, I can slip into my brush blind without making noise, without laying scent. I never come out here where the acorns are dropping to lay my scent. It stays scent-free the whole season. We'll talk about the construction of the blinds in just a minute, but what made this a funnel was, if you look back over here, you'll see a bunch of deadfall trees. It's so thick, deer can't walk through it, so it pushes them back this way toward my blind. Well, the big open fields also is an area deer don't want to walk out into, so it makes a tight little zone between these 2 bedding areas that they naturally funnel. And if you combine that with the acorns dropping right here on top of your area, you've got it going on. You're going to have deer right here. I shot 2 deer. I had opportunity to shoot more. Just didn't have light for the camera. And I also almost got a shot at a really nice 8-point buck. All these big deadfalls to the left, it forced the deer right through here. And they would go to either side of the trail, picking up acorns, and my blind's right there, very close, within 12 yards. So that's what you want to look for. Okay, this is the stuff to the left of my trail. My blind's just on the other side of the trail, where deer can't walk through this, guys. It forces them around it, would push them right around closer to my blind. Of course, my blind's in a thick wall too, so they couldn't walk there. So they had to walk in between. Look for stuff like this. Natural deadfalls, little funnels, creeks, fields, natural veins. That's going to force the deer to come close to your blind. Then all you need is the wind in your face, and you absolutely got to have the wind in your face. There's no excuse for hunting any other method. It does not work. If you have the wind at your back, you're not going to kill a deer. Just that simple. Okay, I'm in the bedding area, and I'm not really worried about it because I won't be hunting these deer for 8 or 9 months. But as you see the oak ridge on the other side of this bedding area, I've got a blind there too. But that's for a different wind. If the wind's coming out of the east, that's on the west side of this bedding area. And I can slip in from the west side and have the wind in my face. For an east wind, you must build blinds for different winds. Okay, here's a good example of a real quick blind that works. This deadfall. I built this blind late season. This thing has fell over. It was actually funneling deer around it. As you can see, I got all the elements that I need for a successful blind. I got all the low cover, which hides my body. I'm inside the blind, inside here. I got a lot of background cover behind me, and I also got the stuff up above me. I just weaved in some limbs of myrtle to so I'm not sticking up out of the blind, so it helps hide me. You're sitting inside of here, you can see something coming because there's open holes where you can see the game approach, and when you see something coming, you get really still, and the deer will walk right by if you're camouflaged this well. Now let me give you a tip. When you build a blind like this, try to use materials that last a long time, like myrtle bush, dog fennels, that type of thing. The Spanish moss, it'll be here all year. So I don't know what you got in your area. You're going to have to experiment, but I'm sure there's things in your area that you can build a blind of that's going to be there for months. Now in my area, things like sweet gum, the leaves fall off, your blind's naked. You know, they don't last a long time. Broom straw is another good element that you can incorporate in a blind. It stays there all year. And like I say, using wood, dead wood, light punky dead logs you can pile up, they'll be there all year. Then you just got to lightly brush it in. These blinds are super, and they will make you successful. But look for the funnels, look for the food, build your blinds, background, little cover over the head is really important, and thick cover below to hide your body movements. Nothing to it, just natural material, your dead wood logs, and brushing it in. This stuff has been here all year because this blind was built back in September, and it's February now, and you see how my blind looks. The deer get so used to a natural blind so quick, it's amazing. You pop up a store-bought blind right here and you're done. You got to have an access to your blind where you don't walk out where the deer is walking. You always need to come in from an area where you don't lay your body scent down. I come in through some deadfalls out of the open, slip right through here, cross this little low spot. There's my blind. I slip right in my blind. The funnel's in front of my blind. West wind in my face. Everything's good. Very little noise. Ease down through here and slip right in the blind. The deer never know it. I'm looking forward to this next year. Yeah, as a primitive hunter, you need to be able to get as close to game as possible. That's the game you're in, is getting close, not trying to see how far you can kill a deer, but how close you can get and make the kill. Obviously, before you build your primitive blinds, there must be a travel route there, or a food source, or a funnel of some sort. So do a lot of scouting before you go through the effort of building your blind. As you've seen, some of the blinds are going to take more work than others. Some can be built in a matter of 5 to 10 minutes just brushing in a deadfall. Others are going to take a lot more work. But I believe you're going to be happy if you try this. And it's just another way for a natural primitive hunter to utilize nature. Hey, good luck.